Good morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this later in my Instagram stories, welcome. Um, I am doing something new this month. So last month was all about like health in your body, getting fit in your body, taking care of your physical health. I did a lot of stuff on, what you eat and how to work out, and I posted a bunch of stuff about that. You can go back if you missed any of those posts. You can go back and check it out in my in the little highlight circle on my Instagram. But today I'm starting a new thing called Purpose February, which I want to help you guys grow in your purpose. So last month I did a bunch of polls on my YouTube channel, on my Instagram page, and I asked people where they wanted to grow or where they wanted to develop. And by far most people responded by saying that they wanted to know more about their purpose or walking out their purpose. And so this month is going to be all about that. Actually, I went through and came up with 28 small video topics so these are only going to be like 5 to 10 minutes each day. But each day I'm going to come live and give you something that you can do to start supporting your destiny, supporting your purpose, and really walking that out. Okay, so today, day one, happy February 1st. We're talking about your habits and how your habits support your destiny and what this actually means. So in order to know where you're going, and this is going to be another topic, we need to know where you are, okay? And before we analyze all of that, we just really need to know where our time is going. And so understanding your habits is going to be the quickest way to determine where you are and why you got there and where you're going in the future. So imagine this. What I'm saying is do a budget for your time. Not what you would like your budget to be, but actually what are you doing? I'm not sure if any of you guys have taken Dave Ramsey's financial freedom course, but in this course, he talks about how every single dollar needs to go somewhere. And so every single one of your dollars needs to have a category in which it goes in. Think of your habits as your budget. We need to know where they're going, what are they doing, where are we spending all of the little dollars that makes up our time every day. Your habits are going to determine a lot about your destiny and a lot about if you can actually support your purpose. So in other words, if you're destined to be, let's say, a CEO of a company, but you have habits of somebody who works for 3 months and then quits that job and then gets unemployed for 3 months and then gets a job and does the same cycle over and over, your habits are not allowing you to actually step into your purpose. You're never going to grow past the place that you are if you don't change the way that you're budgeting your time. Okay, and so for today, by the way, after every one of these like quick little videos, I'm just going to give you something that you can work on. And if you do these steps, we're going to use them all at the end of the month. So if you do them, keep track of them. They build on one another, right? This is set up so that by the end of this month, you're going to have an actual way to know where you're going and how to get there, okay? So for today, we're talking about your habits and do they support your destiny? And so even if you don't know your destiny or you don't know your purpose, and by the way, that's a whole other topic that I'll cover at some point during these 28 days. I'll just build upon that. We think about it in a little bit of a skewed way, right? We don't like find our purpose or like find our calling, right? It's already given to us. Everything that we need for life and godliness is already deposited into us. So it's not like we're finding it on the outside of us. We're more just uncovering it if we go through the processes correctly, right? So for today, even if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, you need to know where you're budgeting your time. And so I want you guys to really take a look at your habits. What kind of habits do you have? Just simple things. And actually, it would be more helpful if you would write it down. So, for example, let's say you wake up in the morning, write it down. Okay, this is the time that I woke up in the morning. And then 30 minutes later, what are you doing? Are you already out of bed, or are you still sitting in bed checking social media on your phone? I want to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're doing, because your habits, these are your daily things that you do over a period of time, are going to determine whether or not you can actually even support the weight, withstand the weight of your destiny, right? If I'm supposed to be a professor somewhere in a university, but I can't seem to get it together to even complete year one of college, how am I going to make that happen unless I can understand where I'm struggling in some of my daily habits, right? So this is the whole purpose of why we're analyzing or keeping track of, taking account of where we are right now. Because if we don't understand that, we can never hope to build upon that to get us to where we're going, right? Like if I'm lost somewhere, if I'm lost and I don't know, I don't know where I am, and I don't know really what direction to turn. I know that I just don't want to be where I am. First, I need to know where I am if I'm going to have somebody help get me out of that space. This is exactly what we're going to do. So if you want to participate this month, what you can do is set alarms from the time you wake up every hour, or every 30 minutes if you want to be more disciplined. Get a notebook. Don't do this in the notes on your phone. Actually write this down, pen and paper, because that forces you to connect with the activity on a deeper level. So get a notebook, get a pen, have it with you, and for the next day at least, if not 2 days, I want you to write down what you're doing every hour on the hour, or every hour and every 30 minutes, right? So every 30 minutes, write down what you're doing. This is really going to help you. Listen, your small steps, like that's where you're missing it, right? A lot of times we think of like, well, tell me this big picture and then like I'll be able to go do it. No, you won't, because you're not willing to do the small step. However you do anything is how you'll do everything. And if you're not willing to take the small steps and take authority, take excellence in those small steps, you're not going to do the big steps correctly. You're not going to take them with excellence, and you're not going to be able to steward it over a long period of time. Your purpose is not a destination, okay? This is not like, okay, made it, CEO made it, professor made it. It's an incorrect concept that we have. It's incorrect to think that it's a destination. Even if you were to get to that destination, can you keep it? Do you have the behaviors, the habits to support staying in that position for the rest of your life, for an extended period of time? So the way you think about destiny, the way you think about your purpose, we're going to start shifting that a little bit. But first, we're going to start taking account of where we spend our daily time and where our habits are found. So for the next day, get a pad and paper, get a notebook, and write down, put timers in your phone that remind you, write down what I'm doing. Write down what I'm doing. I want you to know every hour what you've been doing. This is how you budget. This is how you learn to budget time. This is part of time management. And I'm going to cover this a little bit later on in the month. But another poll that I did on my YouTube and on my Instagram was about being present. How often are you present? 57% of people said that they're present all the time. That's an outrageous percentage. So we're going to cover that as well. How we think about being present, and if we are actually that or not. Okay, we're going to cover that throughout these 28 days. So anyway, my point here. Every day, I'm going to come live, do a quick video just like this one, where I'm going to give you something to do, okay? This is something that is going to walk you closer to your purpose, walk you closer to your destiny. You need to take a hold of what I'm saying and do it, because at the end, if you do all of these steps, we're going to move on to something else. We're going to progress on to something else, but you have to know ground level what you're doing. You need to know if you're, and be honest with yourself, be able to see like, if I'm actually doing the thing that I say I'm doing. If I just ask you the question right now, do your habits support your destiny? I'm sure everybody would say yes. But can you actually give an account and show me where your time is going? So get a pad of paper, a pen, Carry it around with you all day today. Put alarms in your phone to go off every hour or every 30 minutes and take account of where your time is spending. Write down what you're doing. That's it. That's all you're doing. We're not judging it. We're not weighing it. We're not seeing what needs to shift around. All we're doing is just seeing where it's all going. Where is all of our time going? So do that until you go to sleep. And then tomorrow I will be back with another step that you can start taking in developing your purpose. So I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.